So if you do not have a USB in your glove box, I'm going to show you how to route the wire to your center console area. So once you've reached the point of routing the wire back behind your dash, instead of putting it in the hole and routing it into the glove box, instead you're just going to pull the wire down and back through here. It'll kind of just slip on back through this paneling. Go ahead and close the glove box, and then down through here, this bottom portion down here is where the airbag is. So you don't want to route a wire like way back in through here, but right here there's this groove, and this is where you're going to run the wire through. So as you get about right here, you're going to need to go ahead and connect the other wire on, and you're just going to run it all the way to the end. And then once you reach the end, it's actually going to go from the glove box to this other panel. So we'll get the wire up in there. And it's almost lined up perfectly to where it can just go seamlessly from the groove on the glove box to this one, but it's down a little bit. You'll be able to feel what I'm talking about. Once you've gotten it up in there, you're then going to do a hard turn and just go straight back. And what this does, you can kind of see here, the bend in the wire. What this is going to do is that it's going to create tension on the wire here, so the wire is not going to fall down from the glove box groove. So in there, you can kind of use 2 fingers here. But once it's up in there, it's not going to go anywhere. So there we go, I have it there. And then you're going to run it all the way to the back here. And then you're going to start kind of prying and lifting and putting the wire underneath of where this vegan leather is. So in there, and then just going to run the wire all the way. It's super easy. You don't need any tools for this. So you're just going to keep running it and running it all the way till you get to about right here. Now this is where you're going to have an option. I'd recommend getting a auxiliary to USB-A and running it into your armrest. However, you can run it into your center console. It's just not going to be as pretty because the center console you're constantly using, and the wire is going to be running like up and over. I mean, it'll be running underneath of this, but you'll still see the wire because there's no way to enter the center console area without the wire showing. However, if you do it back here, you really don't use that this much, and if you route the wire right, you just won't see it. So once you're back here, go ahead and just take your fingers and just start popping this up. It's just held in with clips. And it might feel like you're going to break it, but I mean, as long as you're not bending it, then you're fine. But if you do want to route it in to the center console, you'll see here that the wire comes up, and you can have it go right into like the corner here. If you do want to go this route, you'll see that when you close it, I mean, the wire is barely visible, but like I said, you'll be using this a lot, so the wire is kind of always going to be there, and you're always going to see it. Where if you route it back here, you're pretty much never going to actually notice it. So if you do want to go into your center console area, then you will have to pry this off a little bit more. But if you're just going, oh, and to put it back on, it literally just snaps back in. But if you're just going into your armrest, you can see that there's clips here. Just run the wire in between one of the, or 2 of the clips. So I'm going to route it all the way to the back here and right in here. So we can go ahead and pop these down. Now I'll click in. And right here, just super, super clean. Put it in there, you close it. You can't see the wire hardly at all. I mean, you can if you get right up in there, but no one's going to see this. Even someone sitting here in the passenger seat is not going to see this. It's out of the way. even if you open it. So that's how we would recommend it. Like I said, you can take it to the center console, but we'd recommend here. And we'll have one of those auxiliary to USB-A adapters linked down below. And of course, at this point, you can refer back to the other video on setting up the occupancy sensor, which will work in here as well.